Welcome to Between Two Poles, where we meet the faces of pole fitness studio and beyond. My name is Fawnia Mondey, and we're here today with Jonny Manzanares, Jonny Boie. Hey, Jonny.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Johnny's been with us at Pole Fitness Studio since approximately 2014, give or take.
Uh, 15, I think.
15?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because I moved to Vegas in 2015.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then that would make it 15.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow. Now, I didn't know that you had just moved here. Where did you move here from?
from Los Angeles.
Ah, okay. That I might have known. All right. Well, we're going to get right into it. This is such a fun interview today. Johnny, you are taking over Pole Expo.
Yes, I am. I'm so excited.
Yeah, when is it?
Yeah.
When is it?
So it's May 3rd, on a Sunday, and I'm so excited to share everything that I've been working on for the past year and a half. Um, I decided to take it over because of my camp, Las Vegas Pole Camp here in Vegas. It happened to like grow, and we started adding more instructors and have more signups. So I decided to add an extra day to the camp, and I thought it would be such a great idea to add an expo on Sunday, because usually that's our Sunday fun day. And I asked you, hey, what are your thoughts of me um, maybe taking over Pole Expo since it's been on a break? And you're like, I would love that. Like, I would love to
Yeah.
see my baby come back alive.
Yes.
And I'm like, "Well, I would love to make that happen,"
Oh my
and
God. If we're not going to have a real baby, Johnny,
we might as well have a pole baby.
we might as well have a pole baby. Yeah, I'm really excited that Pole Expo is coming back. And this is May 3rd, 2026.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm hoping this happens every year going
Oh,
forward.
yeah, me too.
That's so cool.
Definitely.
Now, who's teaching at Pole Expo?
Oh gosh,
Or
we
where are
have
they coming from?
they're coming from all over the world, from Europe, South America, Asia, Australia. We have about 25 instructors that are teaching over 50 workshops at 2 different studios. We have workshops from beginners to intermediate, advanced, and we added a new category this year, elite.
I don't even want to know what that is. Is that like Olympic or unnecessary moves? You're like, why?
Basically.
That's a whole I've been seeing that a lot lately. Every I would say every 5 to 10 years it gets more crazy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it as well. I've started pole in 2013, and within 5 years, it started blowing up, and every 5 years, like you said, it just gets harder and harder with more flexibility and,
Mhm.
more people with different backgrounds join, like gymnastics backgrounds and contortion background, and they all, like, culminate on the pole, and they just become this super pole star.
Yeah, and I'm thinking now when you look at these people, they may have been doing gymnastics for a very long time, and a lot of them might have started pole when they were 10 years old or younger.
Yeah, that's amazing. I wish
Yeah.
that can happen in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there's
think Russia is one of the leaders with youth being in pole, and plus it's considered a sport by some of their, I don't know if it's governments or jurisdictions, but it is considered a sport over there.
absolutely. I'm glad, at least they're taking the initiative, and I feel like Europe also has that standard. There's a lot of youth pole dancers, so
Mhm.
that's fantastic. I would love to see that more in the United States.
Yes, you heard us, USA. Let's go. Now, what about vendors? Do you have vendors this year?
Oh yeah, we have 14 vendors. We have a gold sponsor from the Ukraine, and we have 12 other vendors.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And now these vendors, where are they coming from? How did they find you?
Through Instagram marketing, me reaching out,
Mhm.
yeah, I reached out to a lot of the old Pole Expo vendors, and some of them are coming back.
Oh, yay.
I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Now, let's see. I'm using my cue cards because I feel like I have so many things I want to ask you. At Pole Expo, are you going to have a competition?
We are. It's gonna
Okay.
be a Pole Classic and a Exotica with a K.
Now, if you could describe Exotica, what would that be?
Exotica. It's basically a blanket for all sensual dancing, um, from old school stripper dancing
Mhm.
or hard style heels,
Mm.
It's just a blanket covering any exotic style of dance.
And I think we should put a little snippet of what that looks like right here. Some people, they might even categorize it as Russian
It
exotic.
can be. Yeah, it's just a blanket,
Yeah.
covering all sensual style of dance. More so flow and more so like character work
Mm.
versus hard like pole tricks.
Yeah. So pole classic could be like what we had back in the day, which we can show an example of it here. And you competed in pole
I
classic as
did.
well.
I did. I competed
Yeah.
in 2019.
2019. That
Yeah.
was our last year.
That was yep.
Wow. I'm so glad you snuck one in there. Now, moving along. So, how do people get involved? How do they find information on Pole Expo?
They go to poleexpo.com
Okay.
or they check out our Instagram page Pole Expo as well.
Okay.
Same name.
Pretty easy. Are you on Facebook or TikTok?
I'm not.
You're
Only
not.
Instagram.
Only Instagram.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have an Instagram page, you might want to sign up for one immediately when this video is over. So, yeah, you heard it from me. Is there anything that you want to share regarding Pole Expo that we haven't talked about yet before we dive into the world of Jonny?
Yeah, absolutely. Pole Expo is located at Substance on Fremont Street. The address is 450 East Fremont Street, Suite 270. And it's on the second floor, and it's a really cool venue, super cool. It's mostly a nightclub on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we're taking it over and transforming it into Pole Expo.
And that's in Las Vegas. If you're not sure, where do I find substance? Hmm? You got to come to Vegas.
Absolutely.
Now, do you have a pole at home?
Absolutely. Within the first 3 months of pole dancing, I decided to buy a pole and put it in one of my rooms because I wanted to be committed to training all the time. Um, as a new student, sometimes you don't have access to like studio space.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to buy a pole and put it in my room and have access to a pole so that I could train. Sometimes I get ideas for
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, I want to try this, but I don't have studio access because it might be at midnight.
Yeah.
So I decided I think it's gonna be a good idea if I bought a pole. So 3 months in, I bought a platinum stage pole, and they don't exist anymore.
I was going to ask you what kind of pole you got, and I cannot believe that's the one you got.
Yeah.
How did it handle you?
Oh, great. Yeah, they're one piece. They're one piece still. And it worked really good.
But without the stage.
Without a stage, yeah.
Okay. You know, that was a terrible company name, right? Because even me, and I know what that all means. I pictured you on the white box.
Oh my God, no, it was a fixed pole. I
Yes.
knew that I was always big and heavy and muscular, so I thought I can't have a stage pole as my first pole. I want to be
No.
safe. So I decided to buy a fixed pole. So
Yes.
we measured the ceiling head to toe and we got a custom fit pole
Love
that fit in my
that.
room.
And we have, I think, 2 platinum stages poles still in studio
Yeah,
too.
you do.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
old school from the downstairs.
I love them. I love that you can just take a pin out and
Yeah.
they become spinner static.
Yeah, it's so easy these days. If you haven't checked out pole technology and you're curious about getting your own pole, you can even hit me up. I'll send you some links. You don't even need, I did the work for you. So easy. And we're going to get into our rapid fire moment with Jonny. I don't even know what questions I have here because I just kind of pulled this up in my notes and Jonny has no idea what's about to go down. Are you excited, Jonny, for your
Very.
first rapid
Okay, let's
fire?
do it.
Okay, whatever comes off the top of your head. All right, spinning or static?
Static.
Oh, okay. Yoga or Pilates?
Yoga. I've never done Pilates.
Okay. Top or bottom?
Top.
You've done those. Okay. Coffee or tea?
T.
Okay. Cat or dog?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I grew up with cats, but now I have a dog. Unfortunately, it's like a 50-50.
How,
Sorry, Moxie, that's my dog's name.
if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Leashed or be leash or be leashed?
Probably leash.
Did you add an ed on the end of
I
that?
didn't. Like
Okay, they got
leash.
it. You're the leasher.
Yeah.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay. Hmm. I thought this said baller, and I think it does. That's not what I meant to write. Ballet or contemporary?
Contemporary.
Okay. Rave or meditation?
Rave.
I knew the answer to that one. And Raven, that's how you got your name. Oh my god, so much fun. So, what is your background in fitness? Do you have a background?
So it all started when I was in middle school. I did track and field, and then that carried on to high school. I did cross country, track and field. Then I always knew I liked fitness. I started exploring weightlifting. So I found a coach to train me how to lift weights.
Mhm.
So I did that probably from like right out of high school till 23, 24. And I knew that I loved lifting weights, but I knew that I also didn't want to be a bodybuilder. I didn't want to be too bulky.
Mhm.
So I was trying to figure out other activities that I could do in the fitness world, and I took one yoga class at a gym, fell in love with it, decided to go full throttle with it. So I started training every day, 5, 6 days a week in yoga. And then after 6 months of training it, I decided that I wanted to teach it. I've decided that yoga was my passion in life. So I did a 200-hour course in vinyasa, and then as soon as that finished, I still needed more information, so I did a 300-hour course in hatha, and I used to drive 90 minutes each way to training for it. And both of those trainings took about 1 year to complete. Then once I completed that, I started teaching full time, and I loved yoga, but it was a little slow for me. I
Mhm.
needed a little bit more. I needed to be upside down more. I needed to be contorted more. I needed to be off the ground, and I needed to be upside down more. So I found pole dancing. And shout out to Elizabeth Blanchard or Elizabeth BFit on Instagram. She was my first pole mom. I called
Yes.
her. I Googled pole studios near me, and I found her studio in Orange County. And, she's like, "Yeah, come on in." And as soon as I touched a pole, I fell in love with it. I knew that
Mm.
this was for me. And like I mentioned earlier, 3 months after, I decided to get my own home pole, and I was training at home, training at her studio. Then about a year and a half into my training, I decided to go to Los Angeles to train different styles, and, um, I found a Chinese pole coach there. Chinese pole is mostly like acrobatic on a pole.
Mhm.
They don't really focus on the artistry, such as like sensual movement or anything. It's more like just tricks, tricks, tricks,
And
tricks.
did you touch a Chinese pole?
I did, yeah.
So tell us, what is it? Diameters,
Um,
texture, what is it like?
it can range from like a 50 millimeter to maybe like a 58 millimeter, depending on the pole.
Mhm.
And it's usually back then it was wrapped, it was pole wrapped. Now they have sleeves where you can
Mhm.
just put a pole in a sleeve and make it a Chinese pole. It's made out of rubber or almost like it feels like a tire.
And you had to wear pants?
Absolutely. You had to wear at least 2 layers, otherwise you
Wow.
rip your skin. So I found a Chinese pole coach up there. His name is Cujo. Shout out to Cujo. He taught me my gainer. I never was able to flip on the floor, but he taught me how to gainer. He taught me how to back
What
tuck.
is a gainer?
A gainer is you start on a shoulder mount position with your legs in a straddle. You swing back, and then you push off as your body is going forward. You're moving backwards.
So you're doing a flip in the air?
You're doing a flip in the air,
Land on
moving
your feet?
forward, landing on the feet, yeah.
I think I've seen you maybe do this on a regular
You
pole.
can show a video up here for reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching this interview. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so then after that, I spent about 18 months, in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. I trained at Coho House, and then Beast Fun. And then I started to cross train in Vegas. I would come over to Vegas to have a traincation for a few days, and I noticed that I would gain so many new skills with so many acrobats and
Mhm.
hand balancers and contortionists and Jamila. I would take privates from her, and Swasit is still here.
Yeah.
Um, so I would cross train with them, and I just loved the training. And after a few months of coming to Vegas to train, I decided to move to Vegas. I decided to move here for 1 year. Um, I decided to set some goals up for myself, and I did. That year flew by. I decided to extend for another year, and that year flew by. And I was just learning so much, and I was so happy. Started to create a beautiful community around me with friends and acrobats and beautiful people such as yourself. And after the second year, I decided to extend for 2 more years, and After 4 years, I'm like, "I think I give up. I'm just gonna live in Vegas." Like, I love it. I'm not
Wow.
gonna, keep extending. I'm just gonna live.
'Cause you had a place in California
I
too.
did, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, I had a business in California. I let go of my place in California. I did have a business, and then I let that go after a year of being here. It was just too hard to manage a
Mhm.
business there and manage, training
What was
here.
your business over there?
It's called Genesis Party Supply, and, we did event rentals, we did bounce houses, we did, tables, chairs, canopies, silverware, glassware, um, we did, linens.
So this is a side of Johnny that many of us do not know. He's a very smart businessman.
Thank you. We ran it
Yeah.
for 6 years. Um, it was a business that was going out of business, and then I bought it right before they went out of business. Then I ran it for 6 years, and then I moved to Vegas, and I decided to just let it go. It wasn't my passion. I knew I always wanted to run a business and, like, manage a business and organize a business.
Mhm.
It comes very natural to me. But I also wanted to keep my acrobatic career forward. So
Yeah. And talking about acrobatics, you know how to do a mad handstand. Who taught you how to do a handstand? Who taught you how to stretch?
ooh, okay. So handstands came from yoga. Um,
Okay.
so I have a yoga handstand. That's my base.
Okay.
Then coming to Vegas, a lot of the acrobats didn't like the yoga handstand technique, so I started adjusting my
They're looking
style.
at you and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no."
Yeah, exactly. They're like that banana back, that doesn't work for acrobatics, and I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
So I started adjusting my style. Um, I'm mostly trained in
Mhm.
handstands. I have taken a bunch of different classes from a bunch of different people, but it was never enough to, like, have a real handstand coach. I've probably taken maybe 30 to 40 handstand classes over the span of from 2011 to now. So it's not very many
That's really not
classes.
that
It's not
many.
that many.
No.
So I wouldn't say I had a coach. I did take a bunch of
Mhm.
classes, mostly private lessons actually. And contortion, I learned contortion in 2014 from Fit and Bendy, Christina,
Oh,
and we
yes.
trained for about a year at her studio. And then I moved to Vegas, and then I started training contortion with a Mongolian coach.
That's the word I was waiting to hear. The
Yeah.
word Mongolian.
Yeah, so I started with her in 2015, and I trained with her till 2017, and, the first 4 to 5 years, I trained 6 days a week, 2 to 3 hours a day, and
Wow.
then, she's like, "Johnny, I need a break." She's like, "Can you just come over 5 days a week?" And I'm like, "Sure." So then, for the next 3, 4 years, I did 5 days a week with her, and yeah, I loved it. She taught me a lot of amazing skills that I will always, carry with myself, so I
Wow. Is there
appreciate that.
anything that you learned that you wish that you did differently in the world of stretching? Like, was there any injuries, or do you have any advice for someone who maybe wants to be a contortionist or be able to do the splits? Anything at all?
My advice is to find a good coach that has a reputable name, a good coach that has a lot of experience. A lot of new coaches um, are not very seasoned,
Mhm.
and stretching can be very dangerous, especially if you're contorting. So I would advise find a coach that has lots of experience, that
Mhm.
has students that have had results. Um,
Are you teaching contortion or
yeah,
stretching in some level?
absolutely. Yeah, I teach stretch and contortion. Absolutely, yeah.
So, hey, you found your coach, everybody. You can just hit up Johnny. Johnny, what is your Instagram?
Jonnyboie.
There it is. Now, if you don't speak English and you have no idea what we're saying this entire time, we are about to redo this entire interview in how many other language?
4.
Okay, what languages do you speak?
I was raised bilingual, so English and Spanish. My aunt loved languages, so she introduced me to Italian and French. I never picked up French, but when I was 15, I went to Italy with her. She was studying abroad. We went over for 6 weeks, and I just instantly fell in love with speaking another language. So when I was 20, I decided to go back to Italy and spend a whole year there
Wow.
and learn Italian and work there and just live like an Italian. And then when I was 23, I moved to Spain. I was supposed to go to Greece, but when my best friend wanted to go to Spain. So he convinced me to go to Spain, even though I already speak Spanish. So now my Spanish has a slight Spanish accent. Then when I was 28, I decided that I wanted to learn Portuguese. So I wanted to go to Brazil. I moved to Brazil for 3 months and I learned Portuguese in 6 weeks.
I'm
Then
so sorry. That's insane.
then my next language is French. I want to learn French. I want to learn all the Latin languages. I just have to find 3 to 6 months time to live in France. I feel like if you want to learn a language, you have to live in the country.
Yeah.
It's very important to be immersed. So
Wow. And do you maintain this information or does it
um,
slip away
I
somewhat?
maintain my Italian because one of my best friends lives in Italy still. So we talk on a regular basis. So I talk to her in Italian. My Portuguese is not as strong as when I was living there, but I can still understand it and still have a conversation.
That's incredible. Now, being a guy who's pole dancing, has it been interesting in the sense of this is a woman's world? Have you been rejected in any places that you've gone or given the sideways eye?
Yeah. So because I started pole early, 2013, maybe not so early, but years ago, 13 years ago,
Mhm.
pole was even smaller than what it is now. It was more like a taboo type of thing. And and when I started, I would go to studios wherever I would travel. I would reach out to studios and I would ask if I could take classes because that would be nice to travel to a new city and check out a new studio. And most of them were friendly, but there were a handful that rejected me in California, in Florida, in Vienna. And I just was shocked by why would someone reject a man because he wants to pole? Like pole is supposed to be universal for everyone. That's just my experience and or
Yeah.
my thoughts. And um, I have an experience that I'd like to share. I'm not going to name the studio, but it was in Florida, and one of my friends was teaching a workshop there, and I was just gonna sit in the workshop, and she's my bestie, so I'm just gonna sit in. And the studio owner was like, "No, we don't allow males." I'm like, but I'm a pole dancer too. Like,
What did your bestie say?
she was shook.
Wow.
And we contacted the owner. We posted on Facebook. Back then I had Facebook. I don't
Yeah.
anymore. And Instagram. And she changed her policy within 24 hours. She said um, that, yeah, we want to be inclusive. And
Mm.
we did get a lot of messages from Instagram and Facebook saying, like, you know, a pole studio should be for everyone, not just for females.
So you had some backup
So
from
we had
other
some
people.
backup. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of people backing me up in the pole community, and they changed their policy within 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, especially when we look at the history of pole dancing. Okay, the recent history is we think of strippers, but it goes far beyond, right? You're saying Chinese pole. Was there many female Chinese pole artists?
No, it was mostly men.
Right.
It's a men's
And
sport
then
now.
what about Indian? Don't even know how to pronounce if it's Mollicum.
Something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know how to pronounce
we
it
can
either.
spell it. It's right
There we
here.
go.
We're giving our video editor some work, but I actually have a Mollicum pole in my bathroom. It is not 12 feet high and it's not made of teak, I don't think, but I had a replica made for the first Pole Expo because we
Oh,
showed the
wow.
generations of poles from India and China all the way to Little Minx, which was the first one modern here in America.
Oh, wow. That's
And
amazing.
then Platinum Stages, I think it was the next pole, and now we got Loop It and Italian, and it goes on and on
So
and
many
on.
pole brands, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm so glad you're free to dance on any pole. I think it's an honor to have you on
Oh,
our
thank you.
poles.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, no, it's the truth, Johnny. Oh, I'm so excited that Johnny is here today. It took a lot of work to get him in the studio. And Johnny, thank you so much. High
Thank you
five
so
to
much.
you.
Yes.
We hope that you had fun with today's video. Go ahead and like it, subscribe, and I just double dog dare you to share it with 10 friends, male, female, and maybe a little alien. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
How far will we still love and cut?